Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another episode. And I have today Oscar Mendoza. He is a technology partnerships manager at Kommo. Hey, Oscar, how are you?
Hi Rick, great to see you. How is everything going there?
Everything good. Everything good here on my side. Thank you for joining us. And we're going to talk a little bit about technology partnerships today. So, before we get into those details, tell us a little bit about your journey on how did you start working with partners?
Okay, sure. First, uh, I really studying super different thing. I did my bachelor's in nuclear physics, and I did a master's degree in data science. And actually, I quite work as a data scientist, like half a
Mhm.
year. And also at the same time, I had the chance to work as a Spanish teacher and as a sales manager. And in these roles, in those roles, you really need to connect with people. Like you really need to talk with them, need to
Yeah.
understand them. So it's something that really catch my attention because it's something that you don't see in a lab when you work in experiments. So and then I did some career coaching, and my coach that actually she changed my life. She was like, Oscar, apply here. This is for you. And this was this role as a technology partnership manager. And it's almost a year that I have been working. Of course, at the beginning was super scary because it was
Mhm.
like an unknown field for me. And then, with the calls, talking with people, like you really get that feedback and you see how really things improve. Now it really feels natural.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very good. And yeah, I don't know if working with partners is as complicated as nuclear physics, but but definitely relationships a big part of that. So yeah, I'm glad that you're enjoying this phase now. So you work with technology partners,
Yeah.
and your own words. What's a technology partner?
For me, a technology partner, it's a company that understand your product, understand the strongest points of your product, and understand how it can be complemented. So, when you have these two synergies between two companies, like knowing that they can complement each other in different scales, different levels, with different results, but the main idea is at the end collaborate so the final user, gets a more complete solution.
Mhm.
And because when you search for a partner, what's the main goal? The main goal is at the end create an ecosystem like in nature. You help me, I help you, and so both of us we can grow and survive in this market.
Yeah.
So when we build this, we have to build something stronger and better together that we could offer alone.
Yeah. Definitely, it's like that typical say of one plus one equals three, right? It's
Exactly,
creating
exactly.
creating a new offer that is
Mhm.
stronger than the two separate offers by themselves. So if that's the goal of creating, new joint value together, like how do you do that?
Mm.
How do you build value between two separate companies? How do you build that joint value proposition?
For me, like to create value, the main thing, you need to understand your product. You need to understand what your product can do and what your product can be complemented in. So when you understand your product, you can start searching for partners because you know what to search.
Mhm.
And when you see potential partners, you need to understand how they work. If they have been working like that before, if they want to work with you first. So when you have that knowledge, you can approach to them and ask them three simple questions. If they can have share ideal customers, if they can solve the same problem, and if the success is the same for both. For a company A, success can be $1 million. For company
Mhm.
B, can be, I don't know, 100 co-marketing campaigns in a year. So at the
Mhm.
end, each company is different, but you
Mhm.
need to find something to try to build a solid structure that, how to say it, to create a solid structure. So when you pass through all that process, you need to do one more thing, actually.
Mhm.
That is like you need to be clear. with your partner. I think that's the most important thing to create value. You need to be clear, clear with
Mhm.
timelines, clear with goals, clear if you really want to work with them. So that's for me the main structure of how to create value between
Yeah,
two partners.
yeah. Remind me again. I think I missed there. You mentioned there's three key things that you need to have, right? You need to have an overlap in customers.
Yes,
What is the second one?
you need to solve the same problem.
Solve the same problem, okay, or use cases.
Exactly.
Okay, and the third one,
And have the same view as success.
the
Success
same view of
looks the same.
success.
Exactly.
Okay, okay. So same type of customer, same use cases, same problem to solve, and then a similar view in terms of success, of what success means. Okay, very good. And I like that framework. I never thought about that. So with that in mind, you cannot apply that to everybody, right? There's companies, unfortunately, that like to play the quantity game, right? But quantity, you cannot really work with that when you're trying to go after those three conditions, let's say. So how do you work to make sure that you get quality rather than quantity when it comes to recruiting and working with new partners to do integrations? How do you manage quality over quantity?
Look, I think not just as a technology partnership manager, just as a human being, you need to value time. You need to value others people's time. So you're not creating pointless integration. So they don't
Yeah.
have research. They don't have a public, they don't have an audience. That means that you are spending your time, partnership team time, marketing time, design time, developers times. And at the end, usually when you spend that time without a proper research, I like to call them
Hmm.
zombie integrations because you have a bunch of zombie integrations that they are in your marketplace. Nobody use them, nobody talks to them, they don't generate co-marketing campaigns, and they're just there grabbing dust in some part. Or you can do the opposite. You
Hmm.
can you have two options doing the opposite. First of all, you can really, how to say it, you can listen your audience. If your audience tell me I want this integration, I want this integration, I want this
Hmm.
integration, you don't need to have a bachelor in nuclear physics to know what to do.
Yeah.
Or by the other hand, uh, you can do your research, you can do your homework,
Hmm.
and you can go with that partner and say, hey, your integration, my integration can work because of this. So both teams can grow together and have a complete solution. You know, it's not just creating just because we can, because we have the money, because we have the time.
Yeah.
Always needs to have a value for you and for the end user. So for me, I think it's better to have few integrations that they really bring value, bring revenue that is so important, brand awareness, use cases than having 1,000 integrations that after the free trial of your users, God
Yeah.
knows God knows who are going to
Yeah.
use them.
They turn into zombies. I like that. Zombie integrations.
Zombie
But I think I'm
integration.
gonna start using that, and for everybody, whoever starts using zombie integrations, please send Oscar a check for 25 cents. I'm gonna become I'm gonna become rich just with that.
Yeah.
Oscar, this was great. Thank you very much for sharing your insights about technology partnerships. I really appreciate your time, and maybe I'll see you soon again.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Bye bye.